highlight film breakdown. The 49ers have posted their recent highlight from day 8 of 49ers training camp, and we are going to get into it all as we have already done. That play you just watched was probably one of the more discussed plays, and we'll definitely break it down as you watch CMC win against Curtis Robinson on a one-on-one rep. This is also another one-on-one rep between Talanoa Hufanga and George Kittle. I'm not going to lie, watching these two guys battle in 1v1s has been one of the more entertaining matchups all of training camp. Talanoa Hufanga is absolutely a problem. He's extremely physical, as you can see. And George Kittle and Hufanga have been having phenomenal matchups all training camp. No different as you see right here. Ty Davis Price, probably one of the biggest risers of training camp. I mean, look at the just the way his upper body is balanced, but the way his legs shift. He has so much balance while running and being able to cut and change the direction. He looks like a completely different player this training camp. One of my favorite developments has been Ty Davis Price and his emergence throughout the first 8 days of practice. He looks phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. This was a pretty darn good catch by Danny Gray on a throw from Brandon Allen. Not a bad throw either. Kind of a layered throw over the linebacker. Drops it in. Pretty tight coverage on the play. Better catch and throw by Brandon Allen to Danny Gray. Danny Gray is someone who actually had a bit of a slow start, but man, he has stacked probably 4 or 5 quality practices. Danny Gray has been a big time riser of training camp. Now, this play is probably one that's been highly discussed because it was reported a couple ways, and I will have to come on here and admit I might have been actually part of the problem on this one. I'll take some accountability. Obviously, we're scouting in this particular arena when we're at training camp. So why not self scout a little bit, shall we? I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you how I broke this thing down. I was watching Brock Purdy, and by the time I snapped my eyes around, this is pretty much the angle that I saw. I saw George Kittle making a fantastic catch over Dre Greenlaw. But I think what you can see is if you just look at the helmets at the bottom of the screen, the little mushroom caps, you can get enough sense that George Kittle does have to kind of turn around and come back for the football. Now, this throw from Brock Purdy was about 40 yards out. Obviously, it's a phenomenal catch by George Kittle. Just absolutely great contested catch. I mean, even Dre Greenlaw's in such good coverage. He gets kind of lost where the ball is. So it's actually pretty solid all the way around. And I do think there is room for critique on Brock if you want to give it to him, because I think the thing that we've been watching with Brock is just trying to be a little bit more uh, exact with, I think, the deep throws. Ideally, this ball probably doesn't hang up in the air as much. You get it on the outside shoulder and you get this thing and try to hit it to Kittle in stride. But also, too, I still think it's important to give credit for the completion. I think when you look at the operation and you look at the process, Brock Purdy's identifying one-on-one coverage, George Kittle on a linebacker. And we've seen this play end up as a pick before earlier in practice. He's not shying away from it. He's identifying it. He's attacking it. And I think with Brock Purdy, that's a positive. Now, the critique is let's continue to get this ball out in front and let's get these players to run under it. I would say really that's the only main thing, you know, Brock has got to continue to work on. He has really stepped up his game in a lot of aspects, but I think being able to hit on this deep ball is one of the next stages in his maturation process and on his way back. This looked like it was going to be a touchdown. This was a little slant from Sam Darnold to Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel looked like he would have went to the house. When he realized he kind of got everyone beat, he just kind of pulled up on the play. But it did look like Deebo could have taken this thing to the house. Ambry Thomas made a play today. Look at that. George Kittle gets his hands on the ball. Ambry Thomas does his best job to break it up. It's a pretty solid job by Ambry Thomas. Good job, Ambry. Let's see. We've got Trey Lance. This catch. I mean, you talk about balance in the air. Juwan Jennings to be able to turn his body around. I mean, that's hard to do. Like, that is a hard catch. Because ideally, again, you want the ball out in front in the momentum that you're going, and to be able to turn around, get your hands on it. That's a phenomenal catch. Phenomenal catch. And on the throw from Trey Lance. Fantastic catch. We got an interception. So this interception, another play that's been highly discussed throughout training camp. This, from my vantage point, was a big time sack to the point where you had like 3 defenders all the way around Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy flat-footed, just threw the ball. You can see Jordan Mason trying to reach up and get it a little bit, and Tashaun Gibson's able to get his hands on it. But again, if this was a real game, that for sure would have been a sack. But as we know, 49ers don't call the play dead when it's a sack. They just continue it, and they want the quarterbacks to still throw the football so other guys can get reps. This catch is insane. This catch by Brandon Ayuk on the throw from Brock Purdy. And Deommodore Lenoir is in phenomenal coverage. I mean, he just misses. And that is just strong hands by Brandon Ayuk. Such a beautiful catch. And really great coverage. Great coverage, too. Just a better catch. This was one of my favorite throws on the day. It was move the ball, period. Brock Purdy, decisive, and just let this thing rip. Put this right on the back shoulder of Deebo Samuel. I mean, again, look at Charvarius Ward. Charvarius Ward in phase, got the hand up. The ball is just high enough out the way that Deebo Samuel is able to bring this thing in. They ruled this a touchdown. Great coverage, better catch, better throw. Again, got a great view of this one. Is right down the pipe, right on the back shoulder of Deebo. Just looked like great ball placement. You can even see this. I'm pretty sure this is Boobie Dixon. You guys remember from the Harbaugh days. He's loving what he's seeing out there. So this again was at the end of the move the ball period, where by far Brock Purdy, in my opinion, was the most impressive quarterback in operating the offense. You had this throw from Trey Lance to Isaiah Winstead towards the sideline. Isaiah Winstead makes a phenomenal catch to bring this down on Deshaun Jameson. Deshaun Jameson almost had an interception today. Great catch by Isaiah Winstead. Brock Purdy. So I like this play. This was part of the move the ball period as well. One of the reasons why I like this play is because Brock Purdy came to the line of scrimmage. He identified blitz. They called an audible. They killed the play. and Brock Purdy got them into this particular play and turned into a touchdown. And Brock knew exactly where he was going with it. You can even see he kind of fades off the back foot. You see these things are what is extremely encouraging to see Brock. These are some of the kind of off platform throws that we saw from Brock Purdy last year. And I mean, he just hit it so comfortably, and Brandon Ayuk just absolutely cooked for a touchdown. The move the ball period for the first team offense was pretty smooth for the most part. Um, the first drive they had was just phenomenal, by everyone, by blocking standards, by Brock Purdy standards, by the receiver standards. Just really, really quality performance in that move the ball period. So again, we got another practice in the books. As you know, I've been trying to provide as much additional context to these training camp highlights as I possibly can. We had a little self scouting in here. Hey, not always going to be perfect. It's okay. It's okay to admit when maybe you got something a little wrong. I think that one maybe got that a little bit wrong on basically kind of maybe understating the underthrow just a little bit. But I still think there's some good things to take away. Overall, another good practice for the San Francisco 49ers. Long practice and really quality move the ball period at the end of practice. You already know what to do. Make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.